hear you're ready for your dose of reality.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm the important one, Mr. Mayhem, and welcome to our review show of Extreme Rules 2022. Yes, it's a special Sunday edition because tomorrow is Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day, whichever lie you choose to believe. So we're going to go ahead and do this on Sunday and let you guys have some fun on Monday. But I can't do this alone, so I get to present our co-host this time. It's the important one, Mr. Mayhem, and Dr. Quack.
Hey!
Hey, for once, I get to lead the show here.
See, you do it.
All right, and we got a couple other people joining us here. You know, he's my boss. He's your boss. Everyone's boss. Reach out and buy his merch. Bossolini.
Hi, everybody.
The EST. Buy his extra special treasured merch. That's what EST stands for. And coming on the show, the guy here who loves to entertain us and talk about all the things going on in WWE, even if he doesn't know what he's talking about, John. It's Pick on John Day here at the Dr. Quack podcast. But I will say this, we're picking on John because as you read through the results, John was the number one person, had the most picks correct.
Well, I'll be damned.
I know, about time.
First time for everything.
All righty. So we're going to talk about Extreme Rules. And I want to say before we get started, we all struggled here except for John. And that's a good thing here because now that Triple H is doing the writing, it's not so predictable. So these matches I thought were pretty good. So it was good that we weren't quite so predictable. We could be entertained and be fans a little bit. What do you guys think on that? Boss?
I mean, it was entertaining, you know. More surprises than anything. I like the Triple H era so far.
All right, John?
I have to agree. I enjoy the Triple H era. To me, you are right. It is. It's very hard to be in the mindset of, okay, what's going to happen. There are a few stories that I hope they can get away from, but other than that, there's like very small complaints about the Triple H era.
All right, Dr. Quack?
Yeah, I would say it's promising. It's definitely, it's looking better than what it was when Vince was running it over here the last year. I mean, hopefully we'll get some good stuff continuing on there.
All right. Well, starting right off, we start off with what I thought was a really strong match. The Brawling Brutes against Imperium. Boss, lead us off.
Well, I believe I actually got this one right. This might be one of the few I got right.
Yes, you did.
I believed, that it was time for to finally get a win. The Brawling Brutes look great. You know, I love the fight that every time they around, it becomes fight night. No one cares about Jordan Drake, the arbitrator.
Oh.
But the Brawling Brutes getting their leg up on this war against Imperium looks good, and it looks like it's just going to continue to go.
All righty. And before we go into John here, Randy Hogan chose Imperium, Dr. Quack chose Imperium, and the rest of us all chose the Brawling Brutes. John, your thoughts on the match?
So my original thought was going into the reason why I picked the Brutes was because I totally forgot that the Intercontinental Championship match was actually Friday, not this upcoming Friday. Because the idea that I was thinking was they should give Sheamus the pin over Gunther, and then going into that, and then possibly doing a title change on that SmackDown. But it's I have no idea. I enjoyed the match. What can you say? It's like 4 guys just beating the living heck out of each other, and not caring for the world. I don't know why they needed the Donnybrook part, because I think Gunther's hands are the weapons really in this case. But it was a good match. I give it. I'll get for a starting match. I give it a 3.
All right, Dr. Quack.
Yeah, I'll go 2 3/4. I mean, this was a good match. I enjoyed the 6-man fight. The only problem I really have with this was too many false finishes. I'm like, okay, this match should have ended about 5 minutes before it ended. I'm really thinking so. I'm like, man, I enjoyed the brutality. That part was great. And, the Donnybrook, it made sense because it was all about Sheamus and his great-great-grandfather's picture that got knocked over. But, I mean, overall, it was a good opener. I'm going to give it 2 3/4.
I was actually really high on this match. You're right. I agree. It was a little bit too long. I went 3.5 on this match because the whole thing about Extreme Rules, that's why it wasn't just a regular 6-man tag match. They had to have something in there. They couldn't just do a, Gunther's hand match. That doesn't work. You can't put Gunther's hand on a pole. So that's why they had to do it this way. And I thought the setting was not overused, but was appropriate. I was worried that this match was going to steal the show, which usually you don't want to do as your opener. So I was kind of shocked this was the opener, but it was really strong. I went 3.5. And like I said, Randy Hogan and Dr. Quack got this one wrong. Everyone else got a point on this one.
Strong disclaimer, I have not watched Raw or SmackDown for 3 months. That's all I'm going to say.
It's okay. So the next one, we had the SmackDown Women's title. Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey in an Extreme Rules match. John, you're up first.
I'll be honest, I went to the bathroom during this match and caught the end of it. I'm hoping that they do something different with Liv. The only thing, I'm glad that the title reign's over. I'm glad that they gave it to Ronda. I'm glad I took Ronda on this one. I'm disappointed by seeing the at least if you're gonna hit somebody with a baseball bat, make it look like you're actually really hitting them, not just a love tap. That there was too many of those. You could tell who was not afraid to be hit and who was pretty much the other person who wasn't afraid to hit somebody. So I don't know. I was so disappointed that if I was Dr. Quack, this would definitely be the 2-finger salute.
All righty. Well, Dr. Quack, is it your 2-finger?
No, it's not. I mean, I was happy and sad at the same time. I was happy because Liv Morgan finally dropped this damn title. A Barbie doll that does not deserve it. It represented the Divas era more than the women's wrestling era. I'm okay with Ronda Rousey holding the title. At least she's a name and credibility. But I was really hoping for Shayna Baszler to come out there. I really wanted to see that part. But overall, the match was okay. I mean, there was parts where it felt flat and parts where Liv Morgan couldn't help but botch left and right. But it's not the 2-finger salute, unfortunately. I'm still going to give it 2 1/4 stars.
Yeah, everything in me said that Ronda Rousey was going to win. I did choose Liv Morgan. In fact, what we got there? Randy Hogan chose Ronda Rousey, and John chose Ronda Rousey. Everyone else chose Liv Morgan. The bat was the biggest sin in this match. You're correct, because it was a rubber bat. It was not a real bat. You could see when they were swinging it how it was bending. It was a rubber bat. I didn't buy this match. This match was so unbelievable. I think that's the first time Liv Morgan's ever done anything more than pretend to swing a chair, because her chair shots were awful. There's also a reason they didn't make the Expendables with Ronda Rousey. She can't act either. But yes, I'm glad she's got the belt. The reason I chose Liv was I also thought Shayna Baszler was going to come out and mess with Ronda Rousey, and that was going to set up something. I didn't really care about this match. I went 1.5. That's being generous. This match really was it truly correctly placed the bathroom break.
So,
Boss.
so before we go to Boss real quick, I just have one comment. And both of you said it was you guys thought Baszler was going to interfere and like put and pretty much and effectively make Ronda again a baby face, which obviously I'm sorry, Ronda as a heel is way better than Ronda as a baby face. So it didn't really like I never saw that as an option. I would love to see like have these two as heels going at it, great. But at the end of the day, I just was not thinking like Shayna and her were going to go at it. I think they actually even hold that off until possibly WrestleMania.
Okay. Boss.
All right, so this match purely horrible. Wasn't impressed. I guess they were still trying to make it look like Liv isn't scared, but Liv not tapping out, not getting pinned, Liv not winning, Ronda winning. It's Ronda winning, Liv not losing, and then Liv having a rush to go change to look like the puppet of Sister Abigail. That is all.
That is
all right. All right, so Dr. Quack, you get this one. The strap match, Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross.
I actually enjoyed that match. That match was really great. I mean, I love the storytelling with what's her name?
Scarlett.
Scarlett, yes. Scarlett came out there and stopped that Claymore and just totally distracted him long enough for Karrion Kross to come out there and hit his hammer, as he calls it, that shot to the back of the head and pin him. I frankly, I enjoyed the storytelling. I thought it was very awesome on that part. I actually went 3 stars on this.
All righty. And so Randy Hogan chose Karrion Kross. John chose Karrion Kross, and Purge chose Karrion Kross. So they got this one right. And the match was very intense. I enjoyed that. It felt like, with the exception of no having to tap the corners, this felt like a 70s style strap match where it was meant to be a blow-off feud ender, and it was supposed to be very intense. And these guys really brought that intensity. The storytelling was solid. The problem was it wasn't thrilling. It really felt like there's more to this feud, and they didn't go into it with enough to say, we're going up a level. This really felt like it was just two guys wearing a strap. They faked the intensity really well, but it didn't feel right. So I guess that's probably the best way to put it. I went 2 3/4. It was decent. I'd like to see more of them, so I hope this isn't the blow-off in between those two. Boss.
The winner of the match is Scarlett.
Yes.
Karrion Kross really did not look like a dominant force in this match, because whenever he had an advantage, the Scottish psychopath powered up, woke up, and made that advantage look like nothing. And every time Karrion Kross got that chance to win, it was thanks to Scarlett. So we see that Karrion Kross without Scarlett is Spike Dudley.
Yes. Yeah. Good call. John.
So I agree with everybody. Like it was one of those matches where this was probably one of the ones I was excited to see, because I do agree with someone who made the comment. Karrion needed this win so they can continue the push. If he would have lost this match, I think somebody pointed this out on a video I was listening to. They were saying that if he would have lost, he would have been like like in the middle of the water, just floating, and that was it. There'd be nothing for him really to do, and for him to go. So I do agree. I think Scarlett was really the winner of this match. I am glad that they didn't try to do the pyro again. Instead, they did pepper spray, because I think the last 3 times that they did pyro, they've messed it up where it just went straight over the guy's head and didn't make it believable that it actually hit him in the face. So I'm glad that they did what they did. I was expecting more violence than it turned out to be. So
Yeah, those fire wands, those shock wands, you're not supposed to use them any closer than 6 feet because the fire dissipates at 6 feet. So when it hits you, it doesn't have enough heat to burn. So they keep using them too close. So you're right. They should stop using them.
So, yes, pepper spray was the best choice to use, made it even believable. And I don't know, something tells me Karrion Kross is going to be with Bray. Something tells me not. We will honestly, we're going to see. I don't know. It feels like they're starting to set up too many main event talents or main event people. Now you have Bray in the mix. You have now Drew. You have Karrion. So I don't know. All right.
Well, it looks like Triple H is building main eventers because a lot of the main eventers shouldn't be there anymore. So you got to build. You got to have a good stable of main events. And I do agree with that commenter that when he does his intense opening, the hair needs to go. I agree with that. He needs to have the bald look again. All right, so we're moving on to the next one, which I'm pretty sure this one's going to be Dr. Quack's 2-finger salute, but it's me first. Bayley and Bianca Belair in a ladder match.
Why 2-finger salute?
Well, it deserves it. It deserves to be sprayed. This match was sloppy. This match was uninspired. This reminded me of the 6-man cruiserweight WCW ladder match from 2000. It was really boring to watch.
Here,
nobody knew what
spray here.
Yeah, there you go. Nobody knew what was going on. The spots were slow to develop and slow to build. I don't want to lay it at the feet of Bayley or Bianca Belair. I think the road agents made this match more complicated than it needed to be by having that ladder that had the breakaway supports. And this match really just was too spot heavy and not a great feeling for a match. I went 1.5. This match was really not good with Bianca Belair retaining. And we had everybody choose Bianca Belair, Quack and John and Purge chose Bayley, and the rest of us chose Bianca. Going to you, boss.
Well, first thing, this match proved why she was the strongest, the toughest, the roughest, the strongest, the toughest, the roughest, the smartest, the bestest in all of WWE. Shut your mouth, John, before I come over there and slap your taste off your lips.
I have the same look he did. Good luck.
This match actually was one of the ones that continued off of where you said that she was proving that she was the leader of the pack and she did not need the help of her underlings. Bayley
wasn't done well.
Well, there was a lot of horrible instances. First thing is, I thought it was kind of funny that Bayley grabs almost a pint-sized ladder and think that she was going to climb it and get to the belt. Like, there was no way in hell that she was ever going to reach the belt. But I did love the fact that KOD, number one. Then the second KOD had to be better, so she KOD'd John's favorite slap asses, Dakota Kai and Io Sky together, which took like 45 minutes to get them lined up. And then the final KOD, Bailey onto a ladder, with Bailey holding the ladder.
That's awesome.
You know, there's not a match for Bianca where her hair is not a weapon. So we love that. And the fact that my pick always retains is always a good thing. It wasn't a 5-star match. It wasn't never meant to be a 5-star match. The match was meant to be a 2 and 3/4, but it was meant to say the Raw Women's title is stronger than that crappy SmackDown Women's title. And that's all I got to say about that.
Fair. John, what you got?
Ed, you better put you better go on mute real quick. Because
No.
I've never believed in Bianca Belair.
And that's the reason you got that one wrong.
First off, I'm going to do this. Bailey losing pretty much straight up does not help. Like, I thought that, like, this match should have been probably for like a saved for like a blow off match. But you have Bailey lose pretty much really straight up, and she had help. So now you took like the whole one step forward for damage control that they had throughout the entire build, and now you just pretty much took it 2 steps back, and now you don't make them look any credible than they are. I do agree this match was terrible from the get-go. I don't want to always say it's about Bianca on this, but there's just something about her matches that were not and are not believable. Like, I think from the beginning, Mayhem has always said this. The fans don't like. Yes, the fans when she enters her intros, they're excited, they get hype, but throughout the entire match, it's not consistent as when she enters the arena. So I don't know if it's because everyone can feel that, hey, it's not believable in her match or what, but I don't know. I'm not a fan.
Alrighty. Dr. Quack.
Huh? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go probably about 2 stars in this match. No, this is not my 2-finger salute, but I will tell you it was a bad match. There was a lot of botches. Women in any extreme matches, and I'm not trying to be sexist here, but this is how I'm seeing it, generally suck. They suck in ladder matches. They suck when they use weapons. They generally suck in cage matches. Where is Charlotte and Sasha Banks? Go back to that Hell in a Cell match. Overall, women suck in extreme matches. You have very few that know how to do it, know how to take it and make it look believable. That's just the way I see it. This match is no exception. 2 stars.
All righty. Well, coming up next, we've got the I Quit match. Edge and Finn Balor. And on this match, we had myself and John and Purge went with Finn Balor. The others went with Edge. And, Boss, you're up first.
First thing, before we finish that, before I get to that, Bianca has wins over 3 of the 4 horsewomen. Charlotte, you're next. Now for this match. This match is another crap stain in the eyes of wrestling fans. Because you had Edge look great. And I don't know how in the blue hell can Finn take 3 straight spears and get up like nothing's wrong with him. Like he got up like nothing was wrong with him when his buddies got in the ring. I'm saying, wait a minute. This dude just took 3 straight spears, and because Rhea hit poor little Beth Phoenix with a set of brass knucks. I guess the brass knucks to Beth Phoenix head was like a sensu bean to Finn Balor because he popped right up like Yeah, I got all life on earth. Watch me go do 3 coup de grace. So with this match, and with everything that happened, 3 coup de grace and nothing else, you still cannot make the man say I quit. You had to threaten his wife like a bunch of lily levered pansies. Yeah, Judgment Day, my ass. As you can tell, I really am not a fan of Judgment Day. Like, I'm sorry. It looked like Rhea Ripley is just like morphing everybody into her. Only person that hasn't been morphed yet is Finn Balor. Priest, this is looking like a goth little woman. Dominic, I don't know what she is. So I'm not a fan. They can all bite me. And that's all I got to say about that.
All right, John.
So at some point, they need, like, if they were going to try to make Judgment Day look credible, they needed to do something. Mayhem called it from the get-go. There was going to be something shenanigans involving Beth, but it was one of those that they needed to do something. And are you going to try, like, a guy that supposedly Triple H is going to push? Are you going to sit there and make him utter those words? And we were all for sure that Edge was not going to utter those words unless something was going to happen. And this was the match that everybody saw that something was going to happen. I said from the get-go of the show the other day, shenanigans galore throughout Extreme Rules. And one thing I didn't say about the Bianca and Bayley match was Bianca was in 12 minutes going at it against Bayley, and her little goons came out, and Bianca just tore them apart like toilet paper within not even a couple minutes. And so here, Edge was going into a match where Edge was, close to, I say, 10 minutes into the match. Judgment Day comes out. Judgment Day gets pretty much brutalized, and pretty much doesn't make them look any credible either. So again, if you're trying to make these groups credible, you got to give them that push. Don't make them look like they're weak. Decent match to go. Started out very slow, and then obviously picked up where you're like, whoa. And could you call it too many false finishes of like when you thought they were going to go? But 2 stars.
All right, Dr. Quack.
This is going to get my quack attack and my 2-finger salute. This gets it all in one here because the match itself was good. I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the back and forth between Finn Balor and Edge. I enjoyed the fact that Judgment Day and Rey Mysterio and fam out there came out there and fought in a good 6-man. What I did not enjoy was the finish. This finish, and if I really thought about it after not watching fucking Raw or SmackDown for 3 weeks, I would have realized this. We gotta have the woman involved to cause an I quit. Not really. I mean, here, I quit. We got Mick Foley. We got Melina over there getting ready to get struck by barbed wire from Mick Foley. Now we get a concerto getting ready to hit Beth Phoenix. I'm like, can we come up with something new? If I really would have thought about this, and I wasn't in my right minds here when I did the predictions, but that would have been the real answer because that's what the hell they do. That's why this gets my 2-finger salute. And that was less than 2 minutes, John.
All righty. So I apparently am way different than everybody else. I went 4.25 stars on this one. I thought this match was great. The only reason I didn't go 4.5, yes, it annoys me the 0 to 60 with Finn Balor getting up real quick. And Edge, Finn Balor does have his Hot Topic look coming out, that mask with all the points on it. That was But I thought this was incredible storytelling. The setup on this thing was great. I did see the Melina, Ric Flair, Mick Foley ending going on here. So yeah, that did happen. But I don't think it hurt the match that bad. I thought all in all, the storytelling was great. It really showed the dark side of Finn Balor. I think they were wanting to pull out of this match. So I enjoyed this one. I went 4.25. Alrighty. So we're coming up now to the main event, the fight pit between Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins. John, you get this one first.
That was okay.
All right, so since we only got 10 seconds of John, so we had Dr. Quack and Purge chose Matt Riddle. Everyone else took Seth Rollins. And Dr. Quack.
I thought it was good. It was a good main event. Definitely enjoyed it. You know, the star power there with the UFC referee there, that was fine. I was good with that. The match itself was good. Of course, the ending, everybody's going to talk about the aftermatch on this. I'll let one of you guys bring that up. But all I can say is he's not all elite.
Alrighty. And yeah, Daniel Charcuterie, because it looks like he's been hitting the charcuterie board since he's left UFC. This match was okay. It was kind of boring, especially for a main event. But it did have the I Quit match to follow along with it. It's just, I think this one they jumped the shark. I really thought probably, who knows? This thing really was not great. It was okay. The shark jumping comes from Raven and Tommy Dreamer had a feud for a year. And Tommy Dreamer won only one match, and it was the last one. I thought that's what they were trying to do with Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle. And I think they finished it too early here by having Matt Riddle win. This was kind of hokey. It really felt like they tried to have a comedy match. I went 2.5. It was okay. Boss.
All righty, let's be real. First thing, I said this during the match. I said this during the show. Daniel Cormier is a breakfast sandwich away from being a regular American 98% obese. The match was confusing to 98% of us and interesting to 2%. I did love the fact that Riddle did decide to RKO out of nowhere twice. But what got me was when Seth Rollins hit the pedigree and he was telling Cormier to climb up there to count him. Why didn't you push Riddle off? You're the bad guy. Push Riddle off. But no, you didn't do that. You showed the world that Seth Rollins is not thinking like the game. Because Triple H would have pushed his ass off and not cared. So, Riddle winning. Also needs to correct John's score tally down there because he's 4-2, not 5-1 as at.
I'm actually 5-1 because I actually took Riddle. I didn't take Rollins.
He did. He took Riddle.
I was 5-1.
I will have to double check. I'll double check the video. I did write Seth, but I'll double check. If it was Rollins, I'll give you the point. Or if it was Matt Riddle, I'll give you the point. I wrote it down, so we'll listen to the video. I'll listen to the video again, and we'll correct the score.
We'll go to the video. Controversy, chicanery,
Shenanigans.
But of course, since I guess I'm the last person, I gotta bring it up. The fact that he got the whole world in his hands. The best part of the damn show to everybody else. You know, the return. The White Rabbit arrives. and the White Rabbit is Bray. So, you know, I did like the fact that instead of starting with the puppets, you've seen people as the puppets, including the Fiend. And then you make the cut into the Firefly Funhouse that is spider webbed up, where all the puppets are just laid out with spider webs over them, showing that the spirits of the puppets have moved to a physical form. Now we wait to see who are those people, because right now Braun Strowman cannot be Husky or whatever that pig is called.
Huskus.
Huskers. It can't be Braun Strowman because Braun Strowman is a lean, mean fighting machine. So we got to find somebody with a gut. I thought it was going to be Otis, but Otis' gut is a little too damn big.
No, I think that's going to be Joe Gacy.
Joe Gacy.
Because
Yeah.
if anybody noticed, throughout the entire show, they also showed Nikita Lyons, Braun Breaker. So normally when WWE does that, within a few weeks, lo and behold, guess who gets called up to the main roster? Oh, wait, those people that were showing on at ringside. So it to take all this, was this the best return or best welcome into the WWE ever? Because everybody knew what was happening. Like the pop from the crowd just was like, wow. Everybody
I'm going to say this. It's the most anticipated return. It's not the best return. Because to me, the best return is the ones that you don't expect. Or you don't expect right then and there. You know, like when Mick Foley was being beat up by Evolution. And they said, what you going to do? Call Hollywood and get your friend to show up? And Mick said, why should I have to call Hollywood? And then you hear, if you smell. Then, you know, the crowd pop was off the Richter scale because they were not expecting him to show up. But we've been waiting on Bray over and over again. They've been having him show up in their minds at every pay-per-view. Why not get a stream to save the boredom of Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey, Bianca Belair versus Bayley, that god-awful strap match.
The strap on.
And of course, the boredom of the fight pit. How do you save everything and make the show seem like it was very, very good? Bring back Bray.
There it is.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
All right. And the only person that got the bonus point was Purge, who said Bray Wyatt would appear.
He was right. Good job, Purge.
Even though he said he was going to appear during that match, but
Yeah, I was going to bring that up because
I have his comments right here. Purge said, and I will give it to you as he gave it to me. Bonus point here. Bonus point. Okay, yeah, he did say in the matchup between Karrion Kross and McIntyre.
Yeah,
that didn't happen.
So
it didn't happen.
So technically, he did. Like, yes, he is correct that Bray Wyatt showed up, but he was wrong still. So
no point.
No point.
We'll give him half a point. He's way behind. He needs some help.
Maybe we need to give Quack a half a point as well.
He said Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar didn't appear.
Oh, by the way,
Daniel Cormier may have ate Brock Lesnar. We can give him a half point there.
No, Daniel Cormier ain't my person.
Like,
he ate the poison pixie.
The fact that you like after I saw Cormier come out and I saw him looking at him that way, I was laughing. I'm like, yeah, there's no way that they have Brock Lesnar versus Cormier at Crown Jewel.
Why did you say the fact that? He didn't say the fact. He said the fact. We know Daniel Cormier is he's beating on people backstage.
that there was probably a reason why we didn't like. I also have one. Now that I have this in my head, there's one question I have to. What is your guys' thoughts on this whole Dexter Loomis and Miz thing? Because they also like were continuing that through the entire pay-per-view as well, and it was like they brought Raw to the pay-per-view, and I was just like, it's very slow, whatever they're trying to do.
I like
I
it.
don't know. A Lifetime movie special.
I like
Is
it.
it too slow, or is it like?
No, I think it's just about right.
Like I'm just waiting for
You had
somebody
to
to
remember.
take a knife out and stab somebody.
We had to remind you that Miz's birthday party is going to be on Raw tonight. I mean tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's birthday.
Because God knows we forget it every week.
I'm digging it personally.
I mean, no, I'm not. No, you got to understand. Dexter Loomis is awesome to me because his character is just like totally different than everybody else.
Yeah,
I'm glad that he went back to not speaking because the talking Loomis just didn't seem right.
Now, do you see it where that they're probably only going to use Dexter just as like a backstage gimmick and like fun out like that will come out, or do you actually think they'll put him into matches now?
I don't see him having a match until like Royal Rumble.
I don't know.
Yeah, because don't nobody want to have a match at day one.
That's right, Dave.
And I think they
God, who is naming these pay-per-views?
Roman Reigns.
Yeah, the Ish.
The Ish. Oh my God.
So who takes the title off of Roman?
Sami Zayn.
Like the way Bray
Jimmy
Wyatt came
Uso.
back, I'd be like the way Bray Wyatt came back and everybody's reaction. How don't you strap a rocket to him? It was just like Cody, and then Cody got hurt, and then it's like, is Cody going to get the same push as he did before Vince left?
The problem with strapping a rocket to people is rockets have a short burn life and then they explode.
I'm telling you, it's going to be Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso is behind all this.
No, I predicted that when they turn on Sami Zayn will be so over they will have no choice but to put the title on him.
I thought
and it will happen at Mania.
My thought was that they were going to take him. It was going to be Sammy, and like Sammy's getting beat down. All of a sudden, KO comes out to save him, and then all of a sudden, it's going to be the tag. That's going to be the tag teams, because I still have this weird feeling that you're going to get Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania. Who is the real leader of that Samoan family?
Nah.
The head of the table.
Now, I'm going to tell you the reason I say it's going to be Jimmy. You know, Jimmy was forced to come out to save his brother from getting destroyed by the tribal queef. And then his brother just so happens to decide to run his nose so far up the tribal queef's ass that it's been eating at him. That's the reason the Sami Zayn thing, Jimmy and Sami getting along so well, and Jay can't stand it. It's causing friction within the family. So at the end of the day, when the breakup starts happening, it's going to start with the tag team champions losing the titles.
But by the way, I don't know if anybody can be planting lips on the tribal queef's buttocks more than Brandon. So I don't know. I don't know if there's enough room there to share.
Well, on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. The next one we're going to be previewing and reviewing is Crown Jewel. That one's coming up at the beginning of November. So we got to get prepared for Logan Paul against Roman Reigns. I'm the important one, Mr. Mayhem.
And I'm Dr. Quack. We'll see you next time.
Buy Randy's merch.